Government shutdown, Trump administration guts department overseeing special education. Sweeping layoffs announced Friday by the Trump administration landed another body blow to the U.S. Department of Education, this time gutting the office responsible for overseeing special education, according to multiple sources within the department. The reduction in force, or RIF, affects the dozen of staff responsible for roughly $15 billion in special education funding and for making sure state provides special education services to the nation's 7.5 million children with disabilities. This is decimating the office responsible for safeguarding the rights of infants, toddlers, children, and youth with disabilities, said one department employee who, like the others NPR spoke with, requested to be anonymous for fear of retribution. According to sources, all staff in the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services, OSERS, with the exception of a handful of top officials and support staff, were cut in Friday's RIF. The office is the central nervous system for programs that support students with disabilities, not only offering guidance to families but providing monitoring and oversight of states to make sure they're complying with the landmark Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA. The layoffs at the Education Department, 466 in total, were part of a broader cut, some 4,200 jobs announced by government lawyers in a court filing on Friday as the shutdown continues. At the Education Department, it's not clearly precisely how many workers in the Special Education Office were cut. Department officials did not respond to NPR's request for clarity or comment. Based on multiple reports from staff and their managers, we believe that all remaining staff in the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services, OSERS, including the Office of Special Education Programs, OSEP, and the Rehabilitative Services Administration, RSA, have been illegally fired, said Rachel Gittleman, president of AFGE Local 252, a union that represents many education department employees. The harm these cuts will cause for the 7.5 million students with disabilities across the country is only beginning, Gittleman said. Employees who received a notice Friday were told they will remain employed until December 9th. NPR spoke with a half dozen federal employees who have been cut, all of them in the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services, and also with former officials with close ties to the Office of Special Education. Employees in the Office of Special Education described a host of key responsibilities that they were worried might go unmet, creating a painful void for states, school districts, and families. The federal law known as IDEA, which turned 50 years old this year, guarantees all children with disabilities the rights to a free and appropriate public education. Before the law was passed, those children were often refused admissions to schools, including public schools, or warehoused in substandard facilities where they learned little or enjoyed few rights. IDEA, is considered a civil rights law first and foremost, requiring states to provide special education services for children from birth to age 21. It also helps fund those services. As part of the law, every year, states must submit student data to OSERS staff to show they're following the requirements of the law. States must also submit annual plans and apply each year for the billions of dollars available through IDEA to help them pay for special education. OSERS staffs review those state plans, analyzing the data and ensuring they are in compliance with the federal law. These staffers can initiate investigations into states if they believe they have intentionally or unintentionally fallen out of compliance. They also provide technical assistance to states. Without these OSERS staff, one employee told NPR, there is no oversight to make sure all children with disabilities get the services they're entitled to.
The Education Department sources tell ABC News that special education services have been significantly hampered following mass layoffs within the department. And this, of course, could have an immediate impact on children with disabilities. Let's bring in CEO and president of Democracy Forward, Skye Perryman. Skye, thanks for being with us. Talk to us about the impact that these mass layoffs at the Education Department could have.
Well, this could have a substantial impact on the ability of people across this country and communities across the country to receive the services that they need. But what is important, I think, for the American people to understand about this is really a White House that is using this shutdown as a ploy, using our public servants and communities like students that rely on special education, some of our most vulnerable communities, as a ploy in this shutdown. This does not have to happen. These reduction in force notices do not have to go out. And of course, our organization, Democracy Forward, is representing civil servants in court in order to challenge what the president is doing.
And what's your message to Congress as we enter week 3 of this government shutdown?
Well, my message to the White House and to Congress is that it is time to get the government working for people. But this is the first time in United States history that you have had all 3 branches of government, and you have Congress and the White House controlled by one political party, that we have had a shutdown. So it is time for this White House to get to work. To work for the American people. This is a shutdown that the White House is seeking to utilize and politicize to harm people in communities. That is why we are in court. We have a hearing set for next week. We are going to do everything we can to protect people while this is going on.
And when you talk about the harm to people, just to help paint the picture, can you describe for us the types of extra services that these students depend on?
So you've already seen at the Department of Education, right, services that special education students need, whether that is additional accommodations from their schools, whether that is programs that are really doing the work of people during the school day, after school. But it's not just at the Department of Education, of course. It's the safety and health of our communities, whether you're talking about people that are inspecting our food or keeping our communities safe. All of that is at risk with how this administration has been operating, not just with this shutdown, but with its intent out of Project 2025 to decimate our federal government and to decimate our independent civil servants.